Going. Let's get into things. Game number 1 here on Moonlight Madness between Life and Lilbow. As we are spotting down to the bottom left-hand corner, it is our blue Zerg representing KT Rolster. It is Life. Always likes to show up and bring it when it matters. Will he this season? As we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner, it's our red Protoss representing Team Millennium. It is Lilbow.
And if you're newer to StarCraft 2, I'm going to give something to look forward to here between these two. So Lilbow, he likes to rely a lot on Blink Stalkers, which are the core unit here of Protoss. Super versatile, super mobile, and obviously that Blink is going to be very important. Whereas Life, his favorite units, most certainly the Zergling, the most basic unit of the Zergs. He loves to go across the map, try to be active, try to go for run-by, counter-attacks, and sometimes I feel like there should even be another word for the way Life plays with links. It should be sneak by, because sometimes you're even sitting there with a Zealot in your wall and he sneaks by it by using, you know, the spam trick just right behind one Zealot. And once he gets in, usually it's the beginning of the end, because it's going to keep on happening. He keeps on piling up with the aggression, and he does very well in these situations.
Yes, he does. And there's been many a time as well. I think back to 2014, where he's had even just trickier openings against his opponents, and just kind of pulling out very different styles. But
Life, he goes for an extractor after the initial hatchery here. This is not what we've been seeing that much here out of him. I feel like as of late, he was more like pull, hatch, pull. Hatch, pull, and then another hatch on another base. At least in some of the games that he played in the Kung Fu Cup, which is a tournament that took place very recently. He beat 3 Protosses, one of them twice in a row. So he beat Stats twice, he beat Parting and Zest just very recently. So Life definitely showed that he was in strong form. And actually I asked him about this tournament because he was just prior to this tournament here. With BlizzCon coming up. I asked him if he had played his best or if he had hidden his strategies and just try to, I guess, build up some momentum and do well. And he told me, no, I was trying my absolute best. So this is very interesting to see how well this has developed and how well he's been playing against Protoss as a whole.
Well, already been spotted here by Lilbow. Did get a full scout off there, and speed is already started with the back of these 2 queens coming out as well. So technically, Life can start threatening very early on a map like this, because there's huge back rocks towards the left-hand side of all the bases here for Lilbow. Technically, those lings could start working on those rocks, opening up big pathways where Lilbow starts after walling off everything.
It's funny, like, also stylistically, these 2 players, they love to play very aggressive. So you think that one of them maybe would mix up some defense instead, because usually if somebody likes to play aggressive, the best thing you can do against it a lot of the time is to play defensively against what they're doing.
There's so many lings in production already.
Yeah.
He's got a ton already out on the field. He's going to go back to those rocks that we were mentioning before and just start working on them so fast.
And usually don't scout for this early on in the game. So Lilbow, he needs to realize very quickly what's going on and maybe take down these rocks here.
Oh, he wanted to find a way in, and he's probably already going to very soon. It's very rare that you actually get that opportunity. Just trying to micro and get these 2 lings in themselves. But the thing is that showing 2 lings at the front is also kind of tricky. You know,
Life is going all in. He's only making links. This is a massive commitment. 32 probes to 16 drones here right now. He's only going to make links. And Lilbow needs to realize what's happening. He needs to get a mothership core. He needs to get a full wall here around these rocks on the top left-hand side of his main base. He hasn't sent any probe there to take down the rocks. Lilbow could be in so much trouble. This is looking really bad.
Flood in. This is really going to flood in. There's not much he has available at all. The sentry's going to be kept at the front here, but probably to actually deny it just in case.
This is so fast as well. Like 6 minutes 10, and he's going to walk inside that main. And Lilbow might just have to say GG pretty much immediately.
Too much. That's too much. He doesn't have any defense against this. He's just walking straight into the main base. He sees a few more links flooding through, but that's huge numbers already. Lilbow is completely caught here, and he's actually throwing down 3 more gateways in the natural. This was good crisis management considering. But at the same time, there's no more extra force fields he has. He's going to try and wall this off, but there's still that destructible debris here. He needs to wall this off with the probes or something, but they've already filtered through. GG, game number 1 goes to Life. And the lings get in regardless. And let's hope for a lot of foreign fans that that is not the precursor to the entire series.
This is not the way Lilbow thought this would go down, I think. Did not see that coming, and that's a huge punishment here that was already applied here to Lilbow by Life.
I mean, in essence, in the pre-talk of this series, there was already a lot of disrespect from Life towards Lilbow and his position as a non-Korean.
Yeah.
And that game was just get out of my way.
You know, we always say that Life, he always finds a way, as corny as it sounds, and his links, they always get in. But apparently on Moonlight Madness, it's as easy as taking down the rocks and floating in.
Yeah, there was nothing there, no resistance whatsoever. The second map is going to be Coda here. A little bit harder, admittedly, to do something like that. In fact, now impossible to...
Well, I mean, it's Life. He's going to do sneak by.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sneak by. Oh, yeah, sneak by. Okay. Well...
So funny, years after years, this guy is still as good as he used to be with Zerglings, even when people know it. Everybody knows that he does this stuff, but it's still working.
Yeah. Time
after time, he goes for these Zerglings. He always manages to find a way to get into his opponent's base, because again, this was a massive investment. If Life doesn't get into his opponent's base, and if he's held somehow, I mean, it's just going to be so far behind. As his opponent, you just get a bunch of sentries and zealot, and it's over. I mean, like, no offense, but the replay was not even that necessary here. Like, Lynx just got in and killed Lilbow.
Yeah, it's once this happens, as much as you have one force field, it's not going to be enough. There's no amount of units you can have, because the Zerg has spent so many rounds of lava at that point when you
need
have
to see
no
it
intel.
coming. I'm not sure how. Maybe like have a probe on the map, make sure that you see that gas go down originally, because it went down pretty fast. He was a hatchery gas pull. So you need to see that gas go down and then do a follow-up scout. Maybe try and see at which point there is speed finishing, because you can time it out very nicely. If you see when your opponent starts mining gas, you know, there's like the mathematics that you can do on when speed exactly would finish. And then say, for example, you have a probe on the map. Then if Lynx are chasing you and killing you, you will realize when speed finishes, which, to be honest, was maybe going to be a little bit late in this game. Like, you had to start and prepare before this. But Lilbow could have at least checked for his back rocks, I think, and seen it coming and then walled off. He made way too many probes here.
All right, well, Lilbow is back now. We even have his entrance music to show that is the case. And
the music is epic. Much more epic than map number 1, if you ask me.
He sat down and the music came on. It was brilliant. But now he's up against it. Going on to Coda, do you think this is a bit better of a map for him, to be honest?
Yeah, definitely. you know what's funny? When Life played against Sparting in the quarterfinals of the tournament that he played online recently, on Moonlight Madness, he went for Gas 14, Bull 14. Made a bunch of links, went across the map and killed Parting.
It's just going to keep happening. We came in today with this idea of, wow, we're going to be here for 12 hours. And everyone's just, links, let's go. Let's kill him.
Coda was actually the map, one of the maps that Life lost against Sparting recently when he played against him. So for Lilbow here, I think it definitely would be better if he just played a lot more solid in the start, took a third base, made a lot of big stalkers, and then looked what he's up against and maybe defend.
All right, well, it's time. Game number 2 here between Life and Lilbow. It's Lilbow currently a very quick one game down here in this best of 5. But all the foreign hopes ride on that man's shoulders to the right-hand side, on Lilbow. We saw him do so well during WCS. But spawning out of the bottom right-hand corner is his opponent. Representing KT Rolster, it is Life.
Doing his thing, just like Innovation.
Doing his thing.
Actually, it's so crazy to think that they would play if he wins here.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then the Protoss up towards the top are hoping that Life is able to defeat him. And then spawns up top left-hand corner, we have our red Protoss. It is Millennium's Lilbow.
We've seen miracles somehow happening here from Lilbow in the past, in particular when he played Hydra in last WCS season, and somehow was able to come back after being down not just 0-2, but even lost his Nexus on this very map before heading across the map and winning and starting an amazing comeback. So
I recall.
It's time. This time, don't wait until you're down 2 maps, Lilbow, okay? Like, if you want to do a comeback, now is the time. Very quick gas and very quick pull here. I think this was an extractor 12 and then a pull shortly after. So
oh, jeez.
Life is looking to keep on attacking with Zerglings. Lilbow this time around, though, is going to scout, and with the gateway down the ramp, we've seen some solid hold. I think it was from him in the past when a Zerg tried to rush him.
Yeah, so at least he'll have a good heads up on what's going on already. But at the same time, likewise, Life knows that his opponent is already going to be able to scout this out pretty early. He saw it with his first Overlord moving across. So Life is already kind of thinking away. Does he really want to commit to this? Does he want to just transition on after knowing Lilbow will have the intel?
It's funny to see Life do this kind of build and somehow transitioning at times and, you know, coming up with the best conclusion on what to do that will be best to salvage his build. He's almost like a, in this way, and I know this is going to sound strange, a Zerg has.
Oh, okay.
Because Has is always going for this crazy build that he hopes people won't see coming, but then when they do see it coming, he transitions very nicely. Life has this same thing where like he goes for a lot of aggression, and where most Zergs will be like, oh god, I'm going Zergling speed with Zerglings. My opponent saw it, it's over. Life is like, no. Actually, it's not over.
Wow.
I either will make it work through aggression, or I will drone backup behind it and somehow pull it off.
Lilbow checked everywhere for a proxy hatchery, just in case, even in his main base.
Life is mining more gas. Is he gonna go for a Baneling Bust or something like a Roach attack?
Oh, he is mining. Oh my god, he's got into Baneling Nest.
I think he realized that with this wall down the ramp and Lilbow's team going for a Nexus, it's gonna be so late for Lilbow to properly get a Mothership Core and Sentries. And so if he can blow up the 2 pylons, which are gonna be part of the wall, I mean, Life is gonna get in with Zerglings as always.
Yeah. Oh my god. And the thing is that the Banelings are going to do great against the Zealots that are in the wall as well anyway.
Lilbow is not mining gas. He needs to start mining gas right now. He's going to need 1 Sentry, he's going to need Mothership Core, and he's going to need a good hold here.
Surely Lilbow can't just think it's going to be full Zerglings. The Zerglings see the extent of the wall and the kind of positioning of it and how it's constructed. Whoa, okay, third Zealot comes out. It's really... But the Banelings are going to hit. And he kills off the probe so that he can try and hide the Banelings. But if a Zealot gets walked out and actually kind of sees what's going on...
Oh, this is going to be insane here. Those Banelings are going to detonate not just on the Zealots, but on the pylons as well. And then Lynx will stream in. Life is only getting Zerglings.
This is going to be really difficult. Microing back in. He's just trying to weaken that one Zealot. He's not losing Zerglings against it. He's going to bring the Banelings forwards. There's only 4 of them there at the moment. The 5th one's going to need to move on forwards with this as well. Kills off that one pylon.
Well, that was underwhelming. Mothership Core is now on the way.
Yeah. And there's more Zerglings on the way as well.
If he starts a Sentry now and gets it out, he might be okay. He needs to chrono boost that. He can maybe get a bunch of pylons on the right-hand side, but that core is under siege. The Zealot moves out and gets surrounded.
It's got surrounded perfectly here by the Zerglings. He wants to kill it off, and he's going to finish it off as well. He needs to get that Cybernetics core. He needs to finish it off as quickly as he can. Baneling wants to walk through. He needs to get that through so he can kill this off and just get through these buildings.
I don't think the Sentry will come out. The gateway's taking so much damage.
Oh my god, the Zerglings managed to get through. They finally break through all of this. Lilbow, he tried to build the Great Wall, but it wasn't enough.
And now he can't make sentries. I think he lost the Cyber Core.
Yeah, he sealed off the wall though for just a few more Zerglings, but I mean now the probes are under attack. He's not going to be able to mining time, and it's still actually loose here. There's more and more Zerglings. Banelings being morphed in as well here in the main base. This Mothership Core is all he's really going to have with a few Zealots here and there to try and deny this, but he's already losing probe after probe. This is a catastrophe here for Lilbow. He's down to 4 workers, 3, 2, 1, and that is GG. Life continues to completely destroy Lilbow here with just Lings and Banelings alone.
Wow. It's almost as if Life, he heard the interview of Lilbow. He's like, oh yeah, you've been playing Legacy of the Void. Well, let me remind you of some of these tech and builds that you can go for in Heart of the Swarm. A Baneling Nest is very common to go for when you think your opponent's not going to be mining gas this early on in game, and goes for a greedy Nexus after spotting that you had been opening in such a greedy way.
It really feels like Life just sees Lilbow as a stepping stone, nothing more. This is a brutalizing. Lilbow is
a stepping stone, literally.
Yeah, this is really, really difficult for him at this point. I mean, Lilbow has got Terraform now as his next map to try and solidify himself on, but well, he might just go back to same old, but Life might just get aggressive again.
This may be his greatest challenge yet. After a crazy comeback against Hydra, he now needs to do the exact same thing here against Life, the defending champion who... It's so funny, like again, Life, he's been doing this for such a long time and he's still doing it and it's still working. Like, how is this possible? You think that these players by now would have learned to properly scout and defend against him, but it's just not happening. It's just so hard. He adjusts perfectly every single time. I feel like if Life had chosen to go into economy here behind his initial Zerglings and speed, he would have been behind. He made the best choice by far. By seeing the wall of Lilbow, he knew that there were going to be pylons as part of the wall. He knew that he was going to have enough Zerglings. Went for the Baneling Nest. Perfect choice. Wins the game.
Brilliant stuff. Now we get into game number 3 here. Life at the moment on that left-hand side, he's on cruise control. He is just making links and making it work. And oh my god. Oh my god. Up to the top left-hand corner, it's our blue Zerg representing KT Rolster. It is Life who, right now...
In every game, he's been making his pull a little bit earlier. And now this is the last level, the final boss, the pull 6.
He is telling the non-Koreans to get out of BlizzCon. And down to the bottom right-hand corner is our red Protoss representing Millennium. It is Lilbow.
Try again next year. Maybe you get somebody easier. Wow, this poor Lilbow, if he goes out this way, this is so sad.
I cannot believe. Life is just relentless.
Yeah. This, you might say, you know, he's up 2-0. He might as well try something, but still, like, it takes incredible guts to actually go for something like this here.
Yeah, this is very, very difficult here now for Lilbow, who the problem is
so fast.
The problem is Lilbow is a mental edge, or any mental edge he would have had in the series. It might be shot because of the way in which the last 2 games have gone. I think you could go up against a 6 pull. Life even going into... Oh my god.
I don't even want to imagine what like all the Korean pro gamers are thinking of right now, like who are in these tournaments, seeing this match. They're like, hey, we kind of hope more non-Korean qualify next season and we get them, because...
Well, here comes the probe and here come the Lings.
We've seen Miracle defenses. Miracle come back from Lilbow in the past. It's now time for another one. He needs to react. I'm pretty sure he's going to go down for a Forge down the ramp. Perfect wall and go for a cannon in the main. There's actually a chance he salvages this situation very well here.
This is very, very important here, because all he has to do is buy time. The pylon's already going down in the main base, so all he has to do is make sure that Forge survives, or at least finishes, and then start a cannon in the main.
Life is getting more links. He's not even going to go into drones behind this. He's going completely all in. Lilbow's got way more probes. If he can get a cannon in his main, he'd be in a great position.
He also has to know what's up.
Forge can't finish soon enough.
Yeah, he has to know what's up. Life has to know what's going on. He knows a Forge is going down. He knows there's a pylon behind all of this as well. He has to break through here and then get in there as quickly as possible, because now he knows with the Forge finishing up, a cannon has already begun. The probes are going to have to micro themselves around this cannon here to try and protect it for as long as possible. The gateway is going to slow down these links from getting in. He's building an entire wall around it, so the cannon has a good chunk of time here to actually finish. This is good control here so far by Lilbow, but now he has to go to combat. Needs to buy as much time as possible for that cannon to finish, but it's already gone on top of these links here, right in the position, but I think he might be able to buy enough time, but there's so many probes already dying off. Cancels the pylons, needs as many probes, minerals as possible, and he has bought enough time.
Yeah, Lilbow comes out of this here with 12 probes against just 7 drones. Life made a single drone here behind this. He made links for way too long, and in the end that didn't work, but behind this he's gonna start building up his own economy. Now Queen's about to come out as well. If Lilbow had survived with a few more probes, I'd comfortably say that he's quite a bit ahead, but right now I'm not sure we should be able to say so, really, even though he's got 14 probes here.
I think one of the important things during all of this was he had that gateway finishing up, like, or at least built in there and finishing up while all this was going on, right? So it doesn't put him too slight behind when it comes to that tech or anything like that. Of course, Life is still behind in economy, but having this gateway finished up and good to go, always knowing the one at the front was going to die is very important.
Yeah. It's really cool that Lilbow had a probe out on the map as well. He saw that Life never started a second hatchery, which actually, look at this. Life is still manning gas. Is it time for another Baneling Nest?
Oh my god, it could be.
I don't see what else he could be here. Unless he goes for a Roach one, but he's way too broke for this.
The scary thing is, as well, is he can deny any
he might go Burrow.
Scouting.
I think he will go Burrow, actually, because no Baneling Nest has started yet. So if he goes Burrow, he can block the natural of Lilbow, because Lilbow's not going to be able to take his natural anytime soon. So TLO also mentioned this, you know, this possibility of getting Burrow really slowing down somebody like Lilbow who loves to expand. I think he meant it more for a third base, but I guess we'll settle for the natural being blocked as well.
All right, well, speed's going to be the choice here with more links still being produced. Life looks to overwhelm by the looks of things. I mean, he's still got 8 more links in production here.
So getting speed, that means he's going to go for another wave of mass links? Because he's only making links here right now.
It's no more gas, so it's not like a Baneling maneuver or anything, but he's going to be going up against a Mothership core that's slowly gaining energy.
I think Life, he wants to set up a big attack at the natural here, because he knows that Lilbow might try to rush for that Nexus a little bit too early, and he wants to make sure that the series in total doesn't last longer than 30 minutes. So he's just going to get links, attack that natural base here of Lilbow as speed finishes, surround the Zealots, and say GG.
But looking at the situation, Todd, isn't this the best situation Lilbow has been in all
if
series?
If he's walled off, yes. But if he gets caught and his Zealots get surrounded, he's done.
And the thing is, again, still no information here is being assimilated by Lilbow, other than the fact that the original lings are still there.
Speed's about to finish, Kailaris. I'm afraid for Lilbow. If he was standing at his ramp, he would have had 3 Zealots completely warning it off, but now he's going to get surrounded by all of these lings.
Yeah, they're going to come in from either side. If he's not careful, and here they come already. The Zealots trying to scramble back to actually a defensive position, but they're not even going to be able to get so. The lings actually try to dive up forwards here towards that towards the main base, but they're already getting on towards the natural. There's no way the Mothership Core has DPS for that at all. And at the same,
is not out of it just yet, though.
He has fought an overcharge. He can hold this off for a little while. The sentry's still in there.
He can hold this off forever. Assuming he gets his gateways and warp gate finishes.
This is kind of why I figured that a Bailing Nest would have been something to go for, but
Life has to expand behind this. It's still 16 drones to 23 probes.
Yeah.
Lilbow, he's had a few scrappy defenses, and I think this may yet be another one of them. Somehow he stayed alive.
I
thought he might get desperate and really try to defend his natural, but in the end it was a mistake by Life to attack that Nexus. Because then he got it cancelled and the photon overcharge was used in the main. He should have let Lilbow try to use that, but no, he might try to go for a bust, but there is a sick wall here in the main.
And the thing is, Lilbow now knows how many, he sees all of the lings that Life has committed to during all of this. He knows that his opponent's economy is pretty much in tatters, so all he has to do is kind of really defend, or it was in tatters before, because of how many lings are here in terms of the lava.
Life is now very nicely catching up in the drone count, though. So Life, I feel like he's going to threaten that natural base of Lilbow for as long as he can, and once there is enough by Lilbow, he's just going to pull back. Usually, sacrificing his links will be a big mistake.
And the problem with just a few sentries alone, it wasn't enough to really get down here towards that natural. Now Lilbow, with a few Zealots in the mix, slowly moving down there, has an opportunity. This feels like...
a 5th gateway.
Uh-oh.
Could Lilbow be thinking about going for his own attack here? Because again, when you have this many sentries and Zealots, if there is only Zerglings to face you, no Banelings and no Roaches, you might be able to do really good.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go for it.
Oh my
enough
god.
Is enough. You want to play aggressive, it's my turn.
Does Life sniff this out? He's making a spine crawler. Yes, he does sniff it out. He's actually getting Burrow as well, importantly. And
the probe.
Oh, looking to threaten the probe. If he could get that probe, that'd be perfect for him. But I don't think Lilbow is ever going to let that go down too easily. And now with these sentries having moved past that location, well, technically they could have force fielded that off and slowed them down. But they're not just yet.
Mothership Core is actually staying at home, and Lilbow warped in a bunch of Zealots there. I think he's had enough of getting surrounded and losing Zealots that he's actually afraid of getting caught in the middle of the map.
Life sees no natural. He sees no natural with a ling, so he's got more spines going down. The Roach Warren's on the way. More lings are in production here. He knows that he is under threat at the same time.
I really like actually the cancel on the Burrow. Life here really identified what he was up against. Going for 3 spines is perfect. He's getting the Roach Warren. And unless Lilbow pulls off a miracle here once again with the force fields and takes a perfect fight, he's going to be so hard.
He's going to catch the reinforcements.
There's a few force fields to work with.
Yeah, there is. I don't think it's enough either, these lings. I think they might be sacrificing themselves. But I mean, of course, it's for the greater good because he's buying more time. He's buying more time for the Roaches to get out towards the front, one would think. But at the same time, this is still quite a force itself. But he doesn't want to get force field off against all of this. And he will do. 3 spine crawlers here might not be enough. The Queen is going to actually add on a little bit extra damage, but it doesn't have an injury for transfuses. One of the spines actually already falls here. Second one, it's kind of going down, and there's not that many lings left over. The Roaches need to pile out, but he got the pylon. There's no more extra reinforcements here with the Roaches coming out. It's only sentries left for Lilbow. He has nothing left here, and with that, that is GG. And Life will take the series 3-0, and he moves on to the round of 8. The world champion from last year continues his campaign here in 2015.
What is going on here? 3 zeros, 3 times in a row at the World Championship. These players are not messing around. They want to go straight to the finals.